Wow, look at that. I am on camera, live from the HWR studios. Well, not really. It's from my house, but in my basement, my dwelling, my lair. But we're here.
But
Hardcore
he
Wrestling.
is not Joe Biden. He
There
is
you
Joe Scoldren. Nice.
Yeah. Hey, kudos to you, Lance.
Damn.
I put it like
Yes.
this. I vote for Nixon. I'm not a crook. So either that or the Gipper, Ronald Reagan. Anyway, welcome everybody. I was gonna say Scoldress Realm. Wow. Welcome to HWR Hardcore Wrestling Radio's pay-per-view picks for Hell in a Cell this Sunday at WWE Network. They don't have like a full bunch of cards. They have some couple matches. We will be talking about it, but before we start, let me introduce two of the Hardcore Wrestling Radio's crew. First of all, she is the lovely Vicious Vixen she is pretty much the only active wrestler in our group. Me and Johnny Perez are retired, but she is the one and lovely Zoe Nightshade. Zoe.
It's great to be back on here. I do want to make a short announcement real quick. As of November 21st, myself, along with Dark Sway, will be returning to KZW. That is November 21st at 7:30 p.m.
Oh, there you go. Congratulations. So Kentucky's Own Wrestling is back, so that's good to hear. Kudos to you. But you know what? And who knows? We'll see what happens. I might take a trip down if the weather's not extremely bad and hurricanes don't pull me away. But
Lord.
let me introduce to everybody out there the other Southern brother over there in I forgot where Lance is from, but somewhere over the rainbow. He is the incomparable one, Lance Moss. Lance.
I'm from Memphis, Tennessee.
There you go.
The wrestling territory you did not get run out of your first night in Tennessee.
You know what? I'm gonna say something really quick. The other night, my booker, myself, and my Nightmare Express, we did like a nice little call. We did like a buddy call. We contacted one another just to talk. We talked about wrestling in the old days. So we talked about that, and it was the most funniest thing ever because we brung that one topic up, and they said, "Hey, remember that time we got run out of Tennessee?" I'm like, "Yeah, because they're marks. They believed in it." They says, "Yeah, I'm scared to go back there."
Oh, believe me, they're just as bad.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, but at least you had the balls to go back, Zoe.
True.
Hey, I ain't going back there. They probably recognize me still. Let me just say this the um over in the chat room. It is Ryan Arnold. Ryan, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to the podcast. Also, my big buddy, my fellow streamer. He is the one and only Tacos Modern Life, John. He is also with he is with hashtag Game On. He does game streams. Make sure you guys do like, subscribe on him. Also, I'm going to do two more quick shout outs real fast. Check out Tony Capone's NAWA. Just go check him out on Facebook. Just do the hashtag NAWA. It's the North American Wrestling Alliance, a company that even I was part of back in my rookie years. So you want to check that out. And finally, he runs an E Federation where wrestlers and gamers mash their guys together. So, and that is Trent Killers Wrestling Association. You can just do the hashtag TKWA, and you can see all that there. So, Ryan says, "Hey Joe, hey Lance, and hey Kayla."
Hello.
So, all right. So, you know what? Hell in a Cell is this Sunday. I am not excited. I may sound excited, but I'm not excited.
Well, there's a reason we do our gimmicks.
Yeah. So they haven't registered a lot of matches right now. They don't have the tag titles yet. Nobody knows which one of those. Um, right now, the Intercontinental or the United States title is not on. We don't even know if that's going to be on the line. Um, so they have the marquee matches. So we're going to go through the marquee matches. But before we do that, we're always going to do we always like to do a little curveball when it comes to stuff like this. Before we go into the pay per view itself, we're going to talk about the current Wednesday Night Wars. We still have NXT on Wednesday nights, and we have AEW. Now, I'm going to start off with AEW because I saw NXT. It was like, oh, it was okay. Nothing I think spectacular from that, but from AEW, Lance, how can you beat Chris Jericho and MJF doing that little, kind of a little, Jim, what it was it, oh God, what was his name? Like Gene Kelly type dancing and singing and.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Uh, I gotta say, I was so. When I saw that, my eyes opened wide. I'm like, what the hell are they doing? But then after I saw it, they're doing the soft shoe dance. They have the dancing girls. I was like, this is entertaining. This is different. I know a lot of wrestling pundits out there were screaming like, "Oh my God, what the hell is they doing?" But no, it was in fun, and I enjoyed it. Zoe, what about you? What did you think about that little skit that they did?
Like, me and my husband both just kind of looked at each other with big wide eyes, like, oh my God, they're actually killing this right now. They're doing great. Uh, the girls in the background, I didn't know if they were new girls or if they were the girls who came out with Kenny Omega with brooms.
I don't know, but hey, you never know. I thought one of them was Brandy Rose, but then when I looked really good, it wasn't her. Um,
Right. But
but
you're wrestling supposed to know what's supposed to happen.
yeah, but it was very entertaining, and I think watching also the um, the matches, the number one contender tournament matches were really good. Omega seems to be going there, uh, and I think it's going to be one of those things that we really. I'm kind of seeing Omega and Page go there. I think they're going to go all the way. John says, "Well, we're getting a lot of people in. Thank you guys for being part of this." John says, "Hey Joey, enjoy the podcast. I remember the first Hell in a Cell. As a promoter, how do you handle a situation like that happened in 1997 when your camera talent says, 'Oh shit, there's nothing you can do at the time. Do you fire the talent? If not, it's not scripted, so is it approved? What happens?'" Well, you know what? Before I answer, I'm gonna throw it to Zoe. Zoe, have you ever been in a match that you were caught on camera? Oh, maybe using a little bit of profanity.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there was two instances. One instances I got chewed out for it. The second one I got a pat on the back for it because nobody liked the bitch anyway.
Okay, for me, I think if it's something like that, if it's minor, like oh shit, some I've done shows where the guys have said stuff like that, and it's not a big deal. But when you go into a profanity not lance, but a profanity laced tirade, that's when the talent gets. They don't get fired, but they get a good reprimanding. They get docked pay, and they know not to do it anymore. Because I believe in hitting people in the wallet. That's how they learn.
Now, Joe, correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. It aren't the camera guys supposed to stay silent?
Yes.
Yes,
The camera guy
Because
did not
that
say
was
a word.
not Taker and it was not Shawn Michaels. That was that damn camera guy.
yeah, that's what he said. It was the camera guy it was the camera talent. For something like that, uh, you know, I would say, it's the thrill of the moment.
Yeah.
I think something like
Yeah.
that really makes it more realistic in a way. You know, if he didn't go into a whole again profanity laced dropping in bombs and all that, that's fine. You know, again, you kind of reprimand him like, hey, you're not supposed to really say shit. You know, but
Now, that was one of my favorite moments during that first Hell in a Cell.
yes, who can forget Shawn Michaels and the Undertaker? You
Two
know,
of the all-time greats.
absolutely, and they beat the hell out of each other. And then Kane made his appearance and ripped the door right off the cage. And that's on the WWE Network. You can actually see that match. I think my second favorite Hell in a Cell match is when Undertaker took on Mick Foley and actually threw him off the
Yeah.
cage. I quickly, I, I was like, oh my god, he killed him. He killed Mick Foley, and you know Mick was you know, luckily Mick didn't die or suffer any long term. Well, he did, but
Have you seen the
not.
way he moves around nowadays?
Yeah, no. Well, let me just say he didn't. He did not suffer any like disabling, paralyzing, you know, injuries. And there goes Vince McMahon saying, "Why are you talking about my show?" John says it was also because Sean. He said the cameraman said, "Oh shit," because it was Sean was dripping blood from above him from on top of the cell. You know what? And again, I don't see. Again, I think that's the thrill of the moment, and I
Yeah.
think that's what makes it more believable when shit happens like that.
Well,
That
I had to refer back to one instance where I honestly got mad over it. The camera guy was talking to another guy. It was an Oscar match, and you clearly heard the camera guy plain as day. Oscar's going over during the match.
oh
Oh, I was ready to kill the camera guy myself.
yeah, that's
And that's when the camera guy needs to going over to the unemployment line.
yeah,
Yep.
absolutely something like that. That's a firing offense right there. That's not a second chance thing. Derek says Roman Reigns, who's state champion. That's I think that's one of the most predictable matches of all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the biggest things that I'm not gonna, you know, I think when we go over our picks, that's gonna be probably one of the big, probably that's gonna be the no brainer of the night because it's gonna be something simple like that. Um, but let's go back to what we were talking about NXT versus AEW. And I gotta say, in my opinion, I'm not taking nothing away from NXT, but AEW's been killing it. I love the commentary. They finally got Tony Schiavone, Jim Ross. Who you could go wrong? You know,
Mhm.
you have the action in the ring. You have new people who you never seen before. They like to alternate a little bit. They come up with concepts. Jericho and MJF just completely stole the show. And at least AEW uses the veterans the right way. Lance,
Mhm.
we're going to go over to WWE for a minute. Is Tucker Goldberg coming back? Now, what can actually Goldberg do that he hasn't already done?
Fully retire.
Well, that's
Have a
not going to.
have wrestle an actual good match that lasts more than 5 minutes. Not job out to a limousine.
Yeah, or to a ring post.
Exactly.
Zoe, again, AEW has Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson. They have Jake the Snake Roberts, Taz, just to name a few, but they have them in a managerial advisor roles. You know,
Mhm.
if and here's another funny thing before I continue my question for you. If you guys saw that one incident where the Young Bucks got attacked, I guess by the FTR, and the guy comes in with a mask, attacks and helps, like spike power drive someone. Just a little tidbit: if you look at the guy who comes in the beginning, he's a lot taller than everybody, and I mean a
Mhm.
lot taller. and then it's like he disappears. Like they take the camera off of him, and here is Tully Blanchard in the ring with his mask off, holding the mask. We all know that's not Tully Blanchard because he can't do those things. He can't, you know, he can't. I'm not gonna say he can't wrestle, but he's not gonna do a spike pile driver. You know, Zoe, did you see that match?
I did not see that match. Our Wi-Fi's been shit, so I got kicked off during that match.
Yeah, you got to check it. It's really interesting. John says, Mick is unbreakable. Nothing could take the man out for those 2 decades. He was the most active. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you know, Zoe, I don't know if you ever been in a cage match. Um,
Yep. Plenty.
yeah, I don't know I don't know if you went to the old school cage with the chain link fence. We had to be with the chain link fence.
Yeah, we do. I've been in 2 cage match battle royales where I was the only female in there. We did a double cage match with 2 rings that I was in there for. One of those I actually had a tooth knocked out right in the front.
Mm.
Yeah. So I was like, well, great. There's my tooth. I just toss it out to the side and I just keep going.
You joined the Mankind Club. Yeah.
Yeah,
The Mick
unfortunately.
Foley Club.
Then
Yeah,
whenever I got to the back, I started crying my eyes out and said, oh my God, I look like a meth head. I have a missing tooth.
I, the only cage match I was in, and foolishly I got dragged into it, was one of my guys was. This was like back in '93, '94. One of my guys was in there. He was taking on, one of the baby faces, and all of a sudden it's like my guy is trying to get out of the cage door, and I'm pulling the Bobby Heenan. I'm holding the door open for him, and the baby face grabs me and the guy and pulls us both back into the ring. You know, and just tosses me into the cage. Oh my god! I did a full splash on the cage,
Oh, man.
and that was like I took a nice bump there, and then he threw my guy Dream Warrior into the cage too. He crashes into the cage and falls on me, so that doesn't help at all. So, but yeah, and ever since then I'm like I am not volunteering to get in the cage again. So, but all right, so we're gonna go now into our picks again, everybody. WWE tomorrow Sunday night. WWE presents Hell in a Cell. You can see it live on the WWE Network. We will be here talking through the pay per view, but we won't be showing it. We won't be streaming it. If you want to see it, you can order it from the WWE Network. We will offer our commentary. So tone down Michael Cole, put us up, and listen to the commentary, and I guarantee it's gonna be a hell of a lot better than Michael Cole. And we'll be brutally honest. This won't
Oh,
be
yeah.
No, not us. You don't mean it.
yeah. Oh, gee. Now again, there's still not a lot of matches have been um, that have been set. They only did a few of them. I even checked WWE's website today, and it's still with the same preview matches. They haven't done a lot. So we're missing tag teams titles, both Raw and SmackDown. As you guys know, tag teams were switched. I think what is it? Whatever the party posse or whatever they call themselves. Lance, help me out here. Who are those guys with the cup?
Street Profits.
Yeah. Yeah, what she said.
Yeah, the Street Profits. The Street Profits got sent to SmackDown, and I guess the SmackDown Tag Champs. I don't even remember who they were. But somebody.
The former New Day.
Okay, yeah. They got sent to Raw, and in a wisdom, they were traded tag titles. So the SmackDown tag titles stay in SmackDown, the Raw titles stay in Raw, and just the team switch belts. So that's for what it is. There's no mention of that. There's no mention of the Intercontinental Championship. Currently, is Sami Zayn. So we don't have nothing there. We don't have the United States Championship. So that's another thing that hasn't been put up. So we gotta wait. That'll probably be matches added on. But we do have a few. Let's start off with the returning Elias, who is coming out with an album, by the way. WWE's hyping up the album. He will be taking on Jeff Hardy. Lance, these guys have a little bit of story. Elias kind of blames Jeff Hardy for putting him out of wrestling for that brief bit of time. So this is kind of a revenge factor for our favorite musician. Um, who are you going with on this one?
Well, honestly, music-wise, I prefer Jeff's stuff, but just because he's just now coming back, I gotta walk with Elias.
All right. Before we go to Zoe, John made something interesting. Are you guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Mick Foley during his WWE career had 11 headshots, 11 brutal headshots. Can you imagine that? And he also says you can see this event on WWE Network for only Lance.
$9.99.
Shameless plugs there. All right, so we're gonna go back.
But I gotta disagree with him on the number of headshots. He took way more than that in that damn Royal Rumble I Quit match versus The Rock.
Oh yeah, wasn't that the one that The Rock just literally just exploded, started hitting them repeatedly over and over and over.
And he had his hands cuffed behind him, so there's no way he could protect himself.
Yeah, and then that famous scene of his wife and kids crying and having to leave the match.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was actually on the documentary. Oh God, what was it?
Beyond the Mat.
Beyond the Mat. Thank you. It was that was I think. You know, I'm not a hardcore guy. I never liked hardcore. And I have friends who were in ECW. My buddy Jason was in ECW, greatest guy in the world. But I just never liked the hardcore appeal. It just wasn't for me. Um, so,
And yet you're part of a hardcore wrestling radio.
well, that kind of hardcore I can take.
That's irony.
That's irony. So Zoe, if you had to take a pick and why, which one would you go? Would you go with the charismatic Enigma or with the singing Macho Man?
Well, any other time, I would definitely say Jeff Hardy, but I did read earlier online there's a rumor that Vince is hung up on Elias now, and Elias is getting ready to get a big push. So I'm going to say Elias.
Oh yeah, there is rumors going out there that Elias is getting a major push. So what kind of push would that be? Who knows? We've seen Vince make pushes before, and it kind of goes straight down. Definitely look at Shayna Baszler. Look at a couple other people who Vince had high hopes on.
Do we have to?
No, we don't have to.
I mean, do we have to look at Shayna Baszler?
No, definitely not. Jeez, unless
I don't want to throw up.
All right, so then we have the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. It's on the line in a Hell in a Cell match. It is Drew McIntyre taking on Randy Orton. Now, for me, this looks like a great match, and Randy can perform like hell. I don't see this being a title change to that night. I think they're going to stretch it out a little bit, at least to Royal Rumble, because supposedly Edge is supposed to come back, but that's in doubt right now. So, but I'm going to have to personally go with Drew McIntyre. This is the guy that needs more time as champion before they remove it. So, I say let's give it to. So I say give it to Drew McIntyre. All right, Zoe, let's go to you.
Well, I mean, as of right now, like you said, I don't see him losing that title yet. I mean, this is another one of those matches that's going to be like the Roman Reigns match. It's pretty predictable. So I'm going to say Drew McIntyre.
All right. All right, Lance, man, what do you think? This is kind of a no-brainer itself.
As talented as he is, I just don't see. But it's his age is doing putting it against him. I just don't see them putting another world title on Randy Orton. So I got to go with the Scottish psychopath, Drew McIntyre.
All right. And here, talking about predictable matches, we do have another predictable match here. It is for the WWE Universal Championship. I hate that name. He's not fighting Martians or Vulcans or Klingons. So I don't know how he's a
Joe,
Universal.
don't give them any ideas.
Yeah, I know, right? That'll be the next thing. It is the tribal chief himself, Roman Reigns, taking on, once again, his cousin, Jey Uso. Again, no brainer. I don't think this is going to delve into a greatest match. This is probably going to be one of those things that you're going to sit back and go, why is this on? Why is this on? And you know, it's going to be, and it's not only an I Quit match, but if Jay loses, he has to admit that Roman Reigns is a tribal chief. And I think that's what they're going to do, and they're going to build up this whole Samoan dynasty where they're all going to get together, and this is going to be a permanent stable. And I think that's a good thing for these guys. They've been separated for so long, they need to bring them all together. And there's just so many of them. And I think there is even, is it Lance? Is it Roman Reigns' like cousin or brother or something that wants to come in too?
Uh,
There's another Anoy that wants to come in. Um,
Honestly, the only brother I knew that Roman had was Rosie, and well, he did.
Yeah.
yeah, but there is talk about another member of the Samoan family coming in, but we'll have to wait and see. So this is a
Please don't
no-brainer.
make it Dwayne. Please don't make it Dwayne.
You know what? I would say this. I see Roman Reigns defending his belt in WrestleMania against against The Rock.
A
I
lot
just
of people.
God, I'll be plastered by that match.
and that would be a decent, that would be a good way to cement Roman Reigns. So, but I'm gonna have, and again, no brainer, Roman Reigns. Let's go to you, Lance. Looking at this match, unless Jay's drinking a couple of things and driving, this is again a no brainer, Roman Reigns. What do you think?
I'm gonna quote Vince McMahon's old music. Jey Uso, you got no chance in hell in this one. It's got to go with Roman.
All right. Oh, and John said, yeah, that was 11 headshots in one match. So that Royal Rumble match was 11 headshots.
That was just 11. Seemed way more than that, but
Hey, that's Mick. He probably remembers 1,000.
no,
Um,
or does he?
yeah.
At that time, stuff just starts getting scrambled.
Oh yeah. He's like, mommy, it hurts, mommy.
Or whatever that weird groan he would do.
Oh jeez. Then get his characters all mixed up. Zoe, what do you think? I know, again, no brainer here, but what do you think?
Obviously, it's going to be Reigns to keep the title.
You can tell how excited she is.
Now, this is in the cell, right?
This is not in a. Yes, this is a Hell in a Cell match, but
That's the only thing that's going to help this match is with it being in Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
But not only is it in a Hell in a Cell, but it's an I Quit match. So this is kind of a first. You're mixing two type of matches in one. Um, so not only are you going to have them guys throwing each other back and forth in the cage. But you gotta give up. This is not
Dude,
pinfall submission. So that's a good one.
I I will seriously be so pissed off if they try to make this like that I Quit Rock and Mankind match and have Roman like pre-recorded Uso screaming, I quit, I quit.
Well, I don't think they even have that done. So I don't know.
God, I hope not. I'm gonna be pissed if they do. Quit rehashing old shit.
All
Or
right.
at least quit rehashing the same old shit.
Yep.
Yeah, very true. All right. And there is rumor going back and forth that this might be the main event. I don't know why. By For me, I don't know why. Normally, the WWF Championship, the World Championship, the main belt goes to the main event. Now, I am old school. I'm so used to seeing that unless it's in a house show, and they put it usually in the middle, unless or they move it to the end. But everybody's talking about this might be the main event, and I know a lot of people have been grumbling about this, but it is for the SmackDown Women's Championship, and it is also a Hell in a Cell match. It is the defending champion Bayley taking on the returning Sabine Wren from Star Wars Rebels, who was on The Mandalorian, Sasha Banks. Um, I don't want to see this match. I don't care how many times these girls have been in a match. I don't want to see it. I don't care for it. I don't want to know about this match. I don't. Uh, Sasha Banks is overrated. Bailey is annoying. Um, this is one of those things I might just go to the bathroom and puke because puke. He's gonna puke. Um, because this match is just not entertaining for me. There's nothing these girls can do that's gonna make me go ooh wow, unless they start suplexing each other off the top of the cage into the middle of the ring. Um, and with Bailey's huge ass, she might bounce. So this is a coin tosser for me. I don't give a damn. I'm just gonna say Bailey because again, it's too soon. They're gonna stretch this out even longer, unfortunately. But I'm gonna have to go with Bailey. Lance, let's go to you.
Okay, I personally believe these two women should have worked the first ever women's Hell in a Cell because I've seen these two go work very well together. But yeah, you're right. It should go keep it on Bailey.
And they probably do another rematch and another rematch and another rematch.
Yeah.
So Zoe, again, you are the wrestling resident wrestler here, active wrestler. What do you see this match coming down as?
Oh, damn it all to hell.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, right.
Um, I'm gonna disagree with you guys on the winner of it. I do think that more than likely they'll play it off where Sasha has more experience being in a Hell in a Cell match. She'll end up winning. Then you'll have a rematch. Then she'll lose it, and then you'll have another rematch. And hopefully by then we can end the Bailey Sasha feud.
Okay.
Yeah, who knows? It might come to that. Maybe I don't know. There are so many possibilities here, but that is it. There's no mention of Asuka, defending her title.
There's no mention of the women's tag titles being defended either.
Oh yeah, there you go, another belt.
Now, I do have a match that was announced tonight on SmackDown.
What?
Otis will be defending the Money in the Bank against The Miz.
Oh well, he lost it.
Oh, that fucking sucks.
I
Yeah.
I am going to make a prediction here that Mandy Rose is going to turn on Otis, and the Blonde Bombshell is going to team up with Miz and Morrison.
Oh,
Um,
believe me, turns on Otis.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Oh yeah.
So I can see that happening. So let's go to you. What do you think about that match?
As much as I want them not to go the way they've been telegraphing this, they're putting it back on the fucking Miz.
Well, they haven't done anything with Otis, so I think might as well. Zoe, what do you think about that match?
Honestly, quite frankly, it kind of pisses me off. I mean, for fuck's sake, Otis won that briefcase fair and square. Just because he doesn't look like the typical male wrestler, we all know he's fluffy as fuck, doesn't mean that he shouldn't be able to cash in that contract at any point. Instead, they're going to give it to Miz, who's already had that shit before. Fuck that. Let Otis have it. Let him cash in on it tomorrow night, for crying out loud. That'd be great to me. Cash in on it.
You know,
Yeah.
the sad part of it is that if let's say he cashed in on Drew McIntyre.
No, I'd be Roman.
Oh, that okay. Let's say
Yeah.
he went on to Roman. I could see Jimmy Uso, Jay Uso, just beat the hell out of Otis, and he'll lose the briefcase. It's kind of that. I don't know. He. I think they gave him the briefcase thinking that okay, we can do something with this guy, and then Vince, looked at himself in the mirror and said, "Nope, I changed my mind."
I love Otis. I'm a big Otis fan.
You know what? Otis to me looks like Jake the Milkman Milligan from the old AWA. You know.
He reminds me of that one guy living in a van down by the river.
Steve?
Yeah. What?
The dude from Saturday Night Live.
Oh, okay. Chris Farley.
Chris Farley.
Yeah, he reminds me a lot of him.
If he was that funny,
He is that. Well, he's close.
I think the problem is that Vince doesn't have faith in his people. They do these things and they do it a high moment. They set up the whole thing with Mandy Rose. Then she disappears, and then she comes back, and they still didn't move along with it. And then they split him and his partner up.
Taki.
And it's and again they look at this as one of those things that, oh my god, it's like, what did you guys do? It doesn't make sense. And then Vince just says, well, all right, he's has been. Let's move on to somebody else. And when you bring in people like Goldberg in, again, that shows to me you do not have faith in your talent. None of them can cut a promo for shit. None of them know how to pace and do ring psychology.
Even Goldberg.
Yeah. So I don't know. Now, John says, I think the sound from Mankind of 1996 will make that he made us wee wee.
Yeah.
While he was kayfabe stuck, where he stuck that medical splint into someone's gullet. Did he do that?
I think he was referring to the mandible claw, I believe.
Probably. Oh yeah, that's probably what it is.
But as Mankind, he always did that we. Even when when he was getting the hell beat out of him at Mind Games versus Shawn Michaels in that no DQ match. When he was Mankind, he always made that sadistic wee sound.
Well, he did that also in WCW when he took on like Vader and Sting, and then he did it in ECW as well, because I remember that. So
no, I thought that was more when he was fighting them.
Not trying to stay away or stray away from WWE. There is 3 things that we did not cover during the rumor thing, and If you guys don't care, I'll just bring that up like super fast.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay,
We done with this
so
pay per view anyway, so bring them on.
right. Okay, so Statlander, what's her face on AEW? I can't think of her first name. Shit. Chris Statlander, I think it's what it was. She's the Galaxy girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, the boop on the nose. Okay, so she had gotten hurt due to ACL injury quite a few months ago. Yesterday, she did give an update that she will be out even longer, up to another 8 months at least.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah, so it's pretty serious. The next bit also revolves around her somewhat, but also revolves completely around AEW. So they're going to do like this little talent show thing. I think it's just going to be on AEW Dark or whatever. They're going to have wrestlers come out there in mask. And certain wrestlers are going to be the judge. Chris Statlander is one of those judges because she can't wrestle right now. They are to guess who is under the mask, kind of like that, the mascot singing thing that's on TV nowadays.
Yeah, the
mask.
Masked Singer. Yeah.
Exactly. They're going to do that on with wrestling. And also, Finn Balor, there's an update on him. He actually had surgery earlier on this month. He underwent surgery for 2 fractures in his jaw, including one going into his tooth. After the tooth was removed, his mouth was wired shut to restore his bite and help align the fractures. Then 3 plates were screwed in to fixate the fractures for a quick recovery, but there's still no word on when he's going to be released back to come back on TV.
Wow. Funny thing is, when you compare both companies, AEW, they're groundbreaking, they're trying new things. And then you got NXT, who, again, great, talented people, but I think they're putting themselves in unnecessary um, positions by doing, by just going out and literally putting their bodies on the line, doing some dangerous stuff just to get a rating. AEW. Okay, what is it? Phoenix. He had like almost like an injury to his neck.
Oh, Phoenix. Yeah, Ray Phoenix.
Yeah,
Um,
that was
and
brutal.
And Penta had to take over for him. But that's very rare. You know, you don't see these guys, really getting in there. They do a hell of a great moves, but they looks like they practice well and all that. And that goes to show everybody that's listening in. Wrestling, no matter what you think of it, people do get hurt, and people
It
do.
ain't ballet.
Yeah, it's something that no matter what is predetermined. We can all admit to that. Thank you, Vince. Um, but wrestlers do get hurt, and Zoe can testify to that. Johnny Perez was not tonight on, and myself. We've all been injured in professional wrestling. No matter what precautions you take, there's something that happens. So hopefully a speedy recovery for those folks. It's not like Finn Balor ever cut a great promo, so it's not gonna damper him. Might as well be signed Guy Dudley and just hold up a sign saying "Gulp."
Oh, that's cold, Joe.
Oh shit! Cold but true.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But and that's the facts of that matter. But wrestling is it's a very grueling sport, and no matter what, people do get hurt. And if you haven't seen the WWE's Undertaker series that they did, and now they're gonna do the 30 days of Take Undertaker. You know, he can even say it in Stone Cold Steve Austin as well, and a couple other people. They legitimately feel it years later. So I'm sure Zoe, when you get to be my age, you're gonna be like, "What the fuck did I do this?"
I feel that way some days even now. I tell you, I had to go to my doctor the other day because I've been having some really bad pains in my heels, right? So he checks me out. He goes, "You got heel spurs." What was the first thing that I asked that damn doctor? Can I still wrestle? That's all I was working. Can I still wrestle, doc? He just looked at me like I was insane. He's like, "You're a wrestler?" Yeah, I'm a little midget that wrestles. What of it?
Yeah, right. You want me to show you? I'll pick you up in two places in the office.
Right. Well, luckily, I can still wrestle. I caught it early to where all I got to do is some exercises, stretching my heels out, icing them for 20 minutes at a time throughout the day. So, no surgeries required.
Well, there you go. Um, but again, everybody, WWE Hell in a Cell this Sunday. It is a 7 o'clock start time. Um, they do the pre-show at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. We will be doing that as well. So, and we'll be having also Rick Head, who's in charge of HWR, our boss. He'll be with us. Johnny Perez will be with us. So the crew will be all together. You'll get to see all of us together wanting and complain and scream and rant and rave um, about this pay per view and mostly the matches. You know, Zoe, we're looking at the card plus this Otis versus Miz match.
Mm.
You know, as Hell in a Cells were really awesome, I don't really see anything that stands out here.
I don't either. And the only thing that stands out to me, because it's not a really jam packed card, all these matches are going to drag on forever. Just meet the time.
Absolutely. Lance, compared to the first Hell in a Cell, you know, this is what we got now. A lot of those guys who were in the beginning are long gone.
All of the guys that were in the beginning are long gone.
Unfortunately. Um, so look at this pay per view. What do you think is going to stand out?
How much I drank.
I think that's going to be the main thing of this night. I'm going to
Yeah,
have.
Joey, how many glasses are you on?
Oh, you know what we're going to do?
I'll end up being Nancy Pelosi drunk.
Damn.
I'll be
And then
drunk as a
afterwards,
king.
it'll be Joe Biden in memory. What was that he said again? Yeah. Oh. And again, folks, not going political, so you know, but we're doomed if Biden wins.
Yes, we are.
Indeed.
So,
This message is endorsed by Hardcore Wrestling Radio.
yeah. One of the things I wanted to bring up is not wrestling related, but you two. I wanted to bring the conversation to you two. Um, Zoe, you have children now. All my kids are grown up. I have grandkids now. But isn't it so sad that this year will mark the first year ever that Charlie Brown cartoons will not be live for people to watch? It won't be free to watch. There's no Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. There's no Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. There's no Charlie Brown Christmas. You would have to order Apple Plus. What's with the pluses here? Disney Plus, Apple Plus, you know, one plus
Oh,
one. But now you won't be able to see that anymore.
that just makes me so sad. And my little girl loves the old school Charlie Brown.
For me, I'm glad I have the library. My kids were raised on it. My grandkids are now raised on it. Um, but isn't that something, huh?
It is. And honestly, that breaks my heart. But if they take the Rudolph movie off, I'm just going to die.
I don't know. That's another thing that might be removed to Apple
No.
Plus. The old Raskin Bass, cartoons. Rudolph, Santa Claus, and all
Oh,
that.
my gosh.
Hey,
No.
John says, "Oh God, Joe, you just didn't mention Sign Guy Dudley. I'd rather have the quintessential stunt muffin, Joe Gertner.
He has a YouTube channel, by the way.
Really?
Yeah,
Tell everybody about it. What is it? What is it?
it's basically Joel being Joel, but it's Joel. It's Joel Gertner. Gertner.
I'm sure everybody can just look it up and they'll find out. And Zoe John says Nancy Pelosi drunk on a Sunday morning. Good Sunday morning.
Damn,
Yes,
Nancy, I've seen it. Yeah,
you'll be hearing me going, so you mean to tell me that Roman Reigns won?
yeah,
I'm
Nancy.
I'm surprised Chuck Schumer doesn't go in there and debate about it. So, and again, we're not picking on the liberals, but they're so easy to pick on.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go into how if Biden wins, we're all becoming communist party, you know, and we're all
If
gonna.
anybody votes for Joe, they got to be on crack. No, wait, that's his son.
What? For a minute, I thought you said vote for Joe, and I'm like, yes, vote for me. My theme music will be the Empire theme. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. Uh, but again, vote for whoever who you feel you vote for whoever you feel um, that is the right candidate. Just know
As
that,
long as it's Trump.
yeah. And
Yep.
a lot of people put down Trump and all that. I think he's done more for the country, and plus he's been a great comic relief. Biden will just sit there and just go, "Ooh,
Come on,
ooh."
man.
Yeah, and
And
it's
blow over his own
and,
words.
and we all know Kamala Harris will be running the country more than Joe Biden. So
Yep.
Yeah, bring that up. Because James Harris was the real Kamala Harris's real name. The Ugandan
yeah,
giant. The
that's right.
day,
That is
the
right.
day they announced that Kamala Harris from California was the VP is the day Kamala Harris died.
Wow. Poor, up in heaven. You know what? It's funny. You think about. It's sad too. All the people all the wrestlers who have passed away, in this year, and oh my God, let and and the bad thing is, let me give you guys a quick rundown from it. Um, it's and this is really sad. Let's start. You know, the Fink himself, Howard Finkel, passed away. You know,
Hmm.
but let's go for the beginning of the year. La Parca 2. I think this was like the original La Parca. He passed away January 11th. Rocky Johnson, the father of The Rock. He was the actual first Rock. So he
Hmm.
passed away January 15th. Black Demon, you won't know that name, but he was from Mexico, April 13th. Howard Finkel, April 16th. And this is a sad one, but I think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame just for the heroics. Shad Gasper, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
from Crime Time. This guy saved his son and died. He deserves,
Riptides are a bitch.
yeah,
Yeah.
he deserves Hall of Fame. And he unfortunately passed away at May 17th. Uh, Hana Kimura, if you don't know who that is, she was a Japanese wrestler who was being bullied and she committed suicide.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she very very attractive young lady, very gifted in the ring. She passed away May 23rd. Danny Havoc, who was very much known for his CCW, Big Japan, and other promotions, in May 31st. And again, Kamala, August 9th. He passed away. Former Ring of Honor champion Xavier, he's known as John Xavier Bedoya, he passed away. A nemesis of mine, Bullet Bob Armstrong passed away in August 27th. The other half of the Road Warriors, Joseph Animal Laurinaitis, September 22nd.
Why couldn't it have been his brother?
That's cruel, but yeah.
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
Hey. That's and it's oh my God, it is very true. You know, it is sad, but it's true. And then if we even go, looking at entertainers, I'm not going to go through a whole big list of entertainers, but the most famous one, Eddie Van Halen, Little Richard, Regis Philbin, um, just to name a few, John Lewis. These are just to name a few, um, and Kobe Bryant. So it's very sad that we lost a lot of good people, and they're looking down at us and laughing at us. Like, ha ha, look what you got to deal with. So
Right.
anyway, guys, I think we're gonna end the show with that. Let's hope Hell in a Cell is at least good. Some matches. Hopefully, we can see something spectacular out of this show. Um, but maybe not. This is unfortunately today's era in wrestling. So with that, I'm gonna say for for myself, check me out at Sculptures Realm. Just do the hashtag Sculptures Realm. I'm on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I'm also on Instagram and Twitter at Sculdrin. Let's go to you, Lance. You are the incomparable one. Tell everybody where they can find you and what's going on.
Well, I'm at youtube.com/LanceMossTV every Tuesday night and a lot of Saturday nights. I go live with Lance Moss TV and Friends, Coffee Time, and Weekend Edition. The next Weekend Edition will be our Halloween episode, which, since Halloween is next, is on the 31st. Is on a Saturday. I'm not sure what time because I got something to do earlier in the day. Probably about 9-ish. I'm hoping to do it before, but yeah, Eastern. So yeah, but yeah, you can check me out there. And I am currently writing my Christmas special.
All right. Now do the 12 Days of Christmas again.
I got something else for you to take part in.
Uh-oh. Filthy Mind has come to point, but as long as it doesn't involve Sonny.
It will now.
Oh, God, no. John says, Howard Finkel, the greatest wrestling ring announcer to ever live. You don't know how much the voice of the title switching hands can make the moment even more special. As a child, if you thought you appreciate him more as an adult, you'll never have it happen again. And that's so true. Mean Gene, you don't hear his voice anymore and all that. Zoe, let's go over to you, our resident women's wrestler from KTW. Tell everybody what's going on and where they can find you.
And you guys can find me coming up on November 21st in Shopville, Kentucky for Kentucky's Own Wrestling. After a hiatus due to this whole pandemic thing, we're finally coming back. We can't wait to see all of our fans there again. You can always find me on Facebook on my wrestling page, Zoe Nightshade. You can also usually catch me on Friday nights where I do my creepy stories. Over on the Nightmare Vixen, also on Facebook. However, I am on a bit of a hiatus because, well, my computer doesn't work anymore. I'm waiting for a new one. And you guys can also catch me on Tuesday and Saturday nights over on Lance Moss TV.
All right. And again, you can check out Hardcore Wrestling Radio live every Friday night, or we try to every Friday night at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time on Facebook, in the group section on Facebook. Just do the hashtag HWR chat room. We talk about news, events, and we actually do participate in doing the pay-per-views. We offer our commentary and our strongest opinions of the pay-per-views. Real quick shout out. Check out my buddy John. He is Tacos Modern Life. You can know him as hashtag Game On Facebook. He does a lot of great game streams, so make sure you check him out. Check out TKWA, Trent Killer Wrestling Association. He is Trent Killer Syndicate on Facebook as well. You want to look him up, do the hashtag TKWA, where wrestlers and gamers get together to clash. I will be in a triple threat match, or should I say my character will be, where the winner will become the number one contender to hit the TKWA championship. So make sure you check them out. So with that, I'm gonna say I think we're freaking done. Lance?
Buy the shirt!
And for everybody, go to streamlabs.com/Scoldrens Room. You can see the t-shirts there again. And you can see all the HWR shirts. They'll be up because the website just got an update. So they'll be up tomorrow. So you can order HWR shirts again.